And another one. Hello, good evening. Welcome to the Miss Best Reviews channel. I am Mrs. Best. We are here to go over The Valley. We're going to be going over the reunion part 1, which was season 2, episode 16. I can't believe they had my black ass covered this show for 16 weeks. That is crazy that they got that many episodes. But good for them. It's a new show. It's rare that that happens. So we'll see how it goes. For those who are used to the channel, as you know, we generally recap this show with James from the Watch Your Mouth Reviews channel. He did have surgery. He is healing and in recovery. He had surgery on Wednesday earlier this week. So he may be away from YouTube for a little bit, but for those who would like to support him, subscribe to his channel. The link to his channel is in the description of this video. I will let you guys know as soon as he is back live. Subscribes so that you don't miss when he comes back. But let's get into this reunion, which got on my nerves. It just did. Honestly, Brittany irked my soul. This whole reunion. I don't care for her at all, but like usually when women go through a divorce, I kind of feel bad for them. I feel something. I'm just looking like, you so freaking stupid, girl. I don't understand it. So we start the reunion. And I'm looking at the looks and I'm like, come on, colorless clear people. Is this the best y'all could do? Nobody looked dressed up. Like the pregnant women looked okay. They get a pass. But like Janet, great dress, terrible on her. Horrible, boring hair. Her tits remind me of those tiny pancakes that Eggo sells. It's just a random thought that I had. They bothered me. Janet's just not attractive to me though, so it's not fair. Who else was there? Who's the other one? Michelle looked okay, her curled hair, but I wasn't impressed with her dress at all. Jasmine looked okay. Like I wasn't impressed with anybody's reunion look, but I don't know. It is what it is. And Brittany looked fuller than a pregnant tick. She needs to figure out how to get her body fixed. And I'm not talking about weight. I don't really care if the girl is big, small, whatever the hell, but her boob job botched, face botched. She got to figure it all out. She just does. But Kristen apologizes to Janet for calling her a whore and threatening to fight her. I said, good for you, Kristen. Good for you. And Janet accepts. I don't think Janet was expecting that. It's interesting though, because at this whole reunion for the Valley, I thought it was weird. I don't know if anyone else sensed this. Like Janet had all the smoke, all the negative energy for Danny and Nia. Like, if anything, I'd be madder at Kristen, who was threatening to throw me off a boat and whoop my ass, than I would Danny and Nia. But okay. You call someone an alcoholic and now you're mad at them. Make it make sense. Mrs. Uncreef, welcome back. She said, let's go. Get well soon, James. I was feeling Jesse's pants and shoes. Jesse actually looked nice. I don't mind him as much this season, but I feel like it's just because everybody else on the show had a lot going on. Because Jesse normally gets on every nerve that I have. He make my teeth itch. Now, Jackson Brittany, longest divorce ever. They're the white Kenya Moore, Mark Daly. That's just what's happening. Jack says basically Brittany's mad. She's mad that she even has to film the show. And it's like, how dare you get mad at Jax for you having to film a show? Because it's technically his platform. She is why this show came back, but honey, he's the reason you're relevant. I don't like him, but he is your reason for success. You just maintained it better, Brittany. That's all. I don't like women like Brittany. Like, you can tell that whether she's right or wrong, like she always has to look like she's innocent. She always likes to look like she's the best friend ever. But I think Brittany's a snake on the low. I feel like we're going to see it soon. And she used to show us a little bit on Vanderpump Rules how distrustful she can be, but we'll see. But yeah, Jack says he's going to prolong the divorce as long as he possibly can. The reason is because he may be kicked off of the show, and he wants to make sure that he'll be able to get alimony because she makes more money. And When they ask Jack, is that true? Jack says, yes, it's somewhat true. He ain't got not a single piece of shame in his game. I said, Jax, now that's just trifling. Who is counseling these people? Who is your attorney that you would even admit I am purposely prolonging my divorce so that I can get alimony? All she has to do is subpoena these tapes from Bravo, and that's it. Like, grown ass man, you want alimony from your wife, who is also the sole caregiver for their autistic son, as she loved to say. They both suck. They just both suck, y'all. But okay. So I'm not going to go into the whole pregnancy thing, y'all. I will say congratulations to Kristen. Congratulations to Luke. Congratulations to Nia. Congratulations to Danny on their pregnancies. I also think it's pretty cool that they got to be pregnant together, because Nia really was the most supportive of Kristen. She just was. So it's nice that Kristen has someone to go through a pregnancy with. And congrats to Nia and Danny again, also on the home that they bought in Santa Clarita. I'm glad Nia stopped being extra, because there's no reason to be in that small ass condo with all them kids. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. So early on in the reunion, y'all, I was irritated because I saw that Brittany's going to do too much. Brittany's going to use this reunion as a way to come at Jax, which irked me, because at the end of the episode, she did something and then she like gave Kristen a little like high five. I'm like, you're proud of coming at him? Like, this girl's trying to act innocent. Like, your son, autistic or not, may watch this one day. So you probably, I get that she's mad at Jax, but it's like, this is why you're filing for divorce. What is the point in arguing? What is the point in doing all of this? When you're filing for a divorce and the man act a fool, I'd be like, bet. I'd be calling my attorney. Guess what he said? Can I take this to court? And I just don't want to hear about it constantly. Good evening, DM Rocks. Welcome in. Thank you for being here. I am late, y'all, but I got to get it done sometime. I was running out of time. I said, hell, next week is almost here. I'm so behind, just so behind. But yet, Brittany made a comment talking about Jax will have 20 baby mamas and has a dirty dick. She doesn't realize that she looks crazy, because it's like, you was loving that dirty dick for many years, young lady. And you say he gonna have 20 baby mamas, but you baby mama number one, in the words of Scrappy. So I'm looking at Britt and I'm like, girl, who cares if he has 20 baby mamas? Isn't that the point of divorcing them? Isn't that the point of divorcing them? I just don't. I'm like, you dragging this man, but you used to like him. And I get that you don't know more, but grow up. Grow up. Oh, Lord. Dia Rock said, I can't wait for you to review Miami, because Adriana, when I tell you, I watched Miami earlier today. I was so behind, y'all. I've been busy, but I watched it today. Adriana had me chuckling. I don't know whether to give her a hug, a high five, or to tell her to shut up. I will say that. Adriana is something else. She is something else. Miss Moncrief said, Han, Jason, Frank Jimmer, Homer Schmidt, not knowing what birth control is. I'm like, why are we talking about these things? I can't. I just can't. The Valley really does prove that, like, 40-year-olds are not always, sometimes with age does not come wisdom or intelligence. Now, the group moves on to discuss the divorces happening in group, because Jesse and Michelle, since last season, they have filed for divorce. They've made some progress, and Jax and Brittany are also going to be divorcing. But we'll start with Jesse and Michelle. She basically starts again saying she feels diminished. Jesse basically says that Isabella, their daughter, is weaponized against him. They mention the issues with Michelle's mother being sick. So Michelle's mom has cancer. She says that her mom is basically deteriorating, and she thinks that her mother may not make it. She wanted Isabella, her daughter, to be able to spend time with her grandmother. Jesse said no, because it's his week. But we learned that Jesse did not say no. He just wanted to have a conversation with the therapist about mortality, because their daughter's only 4. It's just a lot. We learned that Jesse represents himself in his divorce case in court, which I'm not surprised about. He's trying to save a dollar. I'm not mad at him. And apparently they have no assets in their divorce. I'm like, the house isn't an asset? Is it rented or something? How y'all real estate agents with not one asset? What's happening? I don't understand it. But then again, it is California. So, I mean, I know I live in the Bay Area. I live in Oakland, California. For those who do not know, it's very expensive here. We got lawyers in this building that I live in, attorneys, lawyers, nurses, doctor, all sorts of people, educated, well off, but it's expensive out here. Hell. So I can understand the no asset thing, but I'm like, the house don't count? Don't he got that? Just strange. So it basically comes out that Jesse's been holding off the divorce. Here's my thing. I'm annoyed with this couple because they're actively in the middle of their divorce, and Michelle is living with a new man. She's living with Aaron, which is interesting because her and Aaron just broke up before this reunion aired. I just saw that online a couple days ago. So I'm like, you live in with another man, you're with someone new, you're the one that filed for divorce. I just don't understand why she cares to have these conversations with him about the relationship. Like, once the relationship is done, it doesn't matter if you feel diminished. All that matters is that y'all communicate appropriately for your daughter. But they just want to argue. Like, I can't understand it. I can't. DM Rock said, I just saw a picture of Sutton and Erica meeting up with Denise while filming the new season just now. Housewives of Beverly Hills, y'all. I do recap that on this channel. I am a huge Beverly Hills fan. I'm going to give it a shot, DM Rocks, because y'all know I was pissed off with Bose. I hate when Black people don't stick up for each other, especially in spaces where we're all we got. And I'm irritated with Sutton. I also saw that Sutton unfollowed Garcelle. And I'm like, so basically you didn't care about her if you're just going to give up that easy. You proved her point. I'm not feeling Sutton. I know James loves Sutton. I love Sutton too. Like, me and James, Sutton was our favorite housewife. But after last season, I can't stand her. She's at the bottom of my list. So we'll see. We'll see. But if they come with the microaggressions and acting a fool, I swear. Or if Kyle still ain't divorced. She ain't even filed. I'm tired. We'll see. Housewives of Beverly Hills is a mess. A hot mess. Now, Jesse also feels like his girlfriend. So there's some weird stuff going on with Jesse and Michelle. I don't get it. So Jesse makes a comment and says that his girlfriend reached out to Michelle about boundaries, mother to mother. I was like, why the fuck is the girlfriend reaching out? You should be facilitating that. That's awkward. That makes no sense. So apparently this happened while Jesse was with the girlfriend only a month in. And he says, well, she was spending a lot of time around Isabella, so that's why that happened. Why was Isabella around a woman you just started dating and that you'd only been with for a month? I don't know about the rest of y'all. I don't give a fuck if it's a woman, man, whatever the hell. My child don't need to be around nobody that I'm dating that I've only been with for a month. Bring your kids around somebody once, like, you've been with that person or dating them for, in my opinion, a couple of years. And even then, be careful. I personally would want to wait for an engagement. Because what the hell? What is going on? And Jesse just could not see the issue in that. So apparently they had an agreement at that time because Michelle had just started dating Aaron and Jesse had just started dating. So they had an agreement like, yo, when we date, we're not just going to have people around the kids. We're going to make sure we arrange it, make people aware. But we couldn't hear what Michelle was saying about her marriage because Brittany's nasty ass wouldn't shut the hell up. Shut up, Brittany. Brittany is the friend you have to be careful for because when she's happy, she wants you to be happy. Everything's great. Sunshine. She's supportive. But when she is going through it, she expects everybody else to be miserable just like her. She is the definition of misery loves company. Shut the fuck up and let these people talk about their relationship. Because people don't chime in, but she's talking about her and Jax like that. So why is she chiming in? It just irked me. I was like, Brittany, shut up. God, irks my head, irks my soul. But before we move forward, let me get the comments. I appreciate everybody for being here. I'm sorry I'm not on camera. I'm in the bed, y'all. It's late. I'm tired. I'm old. I'm sorry. DM Rock said, I heard the new girl, Rachel, has been given to read the business. Good. I hope. I don't really care for Dorit. I just don't. And I think I just don't care for Dorit. I just don't. So hopefully she gets it. Isabella should have been at the reunion. She has more personality than her parents. She does. And she looks just like Michelle. She looks just like Michelle, but she does. She's a cute little girl. Michelle, Janet, and Jason can leave. They're useless. Y'all, did y'all see that Sheena has been added as a full-time cast member to the Valley? It is official. Shame on Sheena. She used the book. First of all, Sheena proved to us that she's full of it because you was on a reality show getting at everybody about Sandoval and all of that. Meanwhile, at that same time, Brock was cheating on you. That could have been a storyline. But instead, you chose to keep it to yourself in your arsenal, wrote a book, and used the book at the time. Perfect timing. Now you're magically on the Valley. Sheena better not come on here with the same fuck shit. Because sometimes I be feeling like Sheena has not grown up. She irks me. That girlfriend is looking for a moment. Yep. And then Aaron gave Michelle the boot. Oh, did he break up with her? I wonder. Child. She at this reunion, I know she was mad as hell watching it because at the reunion, she's like, yeah, we moved in together. Things are going good. But she kind of hesitated to answer questions of how's the relationship, is marriage in the future. So I don't feel like Aaron and Michelle have been doing well. I actually think it's strange. No shade. I know for some people it may work out, but anybody willing to date somebody who is still legally married, like if you know about it, that's weird to me. Unless it was like kept a secret from you. And even then, if it was, you should break up. But like, that's weird. You should want people that are like done and available. Aaron, he's weird. But yeah, it was just a lot. So we'll come back. Brittany continued to insult Jax as she loves to do. But they discussed Kristen and Jesse because they made peace. And last season, Kristen and Jesse were like beefing real bad. But now they made peace because Jesse saw like Kristen don't really lie. Which honestly, if we think back to Pump Rules, Kristen don't tell too many lies. She does too much and acts a fool, but she gonna tell you the truth. You'll know what she say is true. So there's that. But their little discussion leads to his emotions and his tears coming up. And basically, Andy's like, the audience felt like Michelle was cold. I don't think Michelle is cold. I think that Michelle is over him. That's what it looks like when you're really over a man, in my opinion. However, I don't think it's okay to call people cold who are quieter and closed off. Like if you were to meet my husband and you don't know him, he's not always going to be like the most friendly person. It might be a little intimidating, but like when people don't know you, sometimes people need to open up, watch, observe. Like Michelle said it herself, she's guarded. So I'm like, I just think we don't like her. She's boring for the show. Like, I don't think she's for reality TV. She's probably a great real estate agent, a great mom. But I don't think she's for reality TV. The most interesting thing she does is date people she shouldn't date. That's just my opinion. But we have to discuss the boys chat, which was a huge issue this season because Danny gonna expose some stuff from the boys chat and all this crazy stuff. And basically, we learned that this boys chat started at Tom Schwartz's wedding seasons ago. Of course. Why the hell would a boys chat start at a wedding? I don't understand that. Hold on, let me catch Mrs. Moncrief's comment. Mr. Moncrief said it's so convenient. Jesse made up with Kristen, but I think Janet stops Michelle and Kristen from being friends. But then again, Michelle doesn't think for herself. I'm so glad you noticed that because that's something that irks me about Michelle. It seems like when it comes to the girls and her friends, like she was crying about not feeling supported, but then she doesn't really say much to them about it and just kind of runs along with things. Like, and then when Brittany was interrupting Michelle explaining like her issues in the marriage, like why is Brittany telling everybody what Michelle is exposed? Like, what if Michelle didn't want to expose all that at the reunion? Or Michelle just sat there and let Brittany take over. So I was like, she can't think for herself. She just can't. And then she also said when she was with Jesse, he used to make her wear makeup, make her do certain things. Like, or she said he didn't like her wearing makeup. whatever the hell, she makes it clear that, like, no shade, she may be able to be a little bit controlled. Miss Moncrief also said that voice chat is so problematic and Bravo will tolerate that inappropriateness from the clear people, but shun the Ninis and Kenyas. That part. That's why I said at the beginning of this, I don't know if y'all caught it, 16 episodes in season 2 is crazy. It's just the fact that a cast of color would never get that. Summer House Martha's Vineyard, their second season, they got 10 episodes. And then they were canceled. So, you know, it's one of those things where we're aware of it, but NBC is notorious. Bill Cosby been trying to expose them for being, you know, a little bit biased for a while. But, you know, what will we do? But the voice chat is problematic. Brittany exposed herself and Jax. And Brittany don't realize that she's so mad at Jackson is exposing all the pillow talk that she's not realizing, and Michelle's not realizing, Brittany's a terrible friend. And here's the proof. Brittany tries to expose Jax for what he showed her from the voice chat, said that Jax does not like Jesse at all, and Jesse used to be sending girls and all types of other stuff while he was married to Michelle. While Jesse was married to Michelle, though, Brittany, Michelle is supposed to be your friend, right? Your good friend. So if you know from your husband that your good friend's husband is in there acting a fool and you know she's miserable, why wouldn't you communicate that to her? So Brittany's trying to act like Jax is all bad because now they're divorcing. But when she was with him, doing the same shit that he was doing with him, it wasn't a problem. Brittany needs to stop. You can't be that mad at him that you forget that you had a hand to play in some of this shit too. I cannot. Somebody send her back to Kentucky. I just cannot. I can't. But I wouldn't be surprised if Jax didn't like Jesse. I just want. I don't think Jax likes any of these people. I think Jax just tolerates who he has to tolerate and who will tolerate him, honestly, which is why he's hanging out with Tom Schwartz so much. Jax is just a cold piece of work. He is. But they move on to ask Danny why he told Luke about what Jesse said about Michelle sleeping with a billionaire in the voice chat to pay her rent. And it's interesting because Danny basically is like, I knew I was mic'd, but I thought filming had wrapped. And Janet is over in there talking about, oh, now suddenly he doesn't know how a mic works, but he's a voice actor. I'm like, listen, you nasty looking Voldemort bitch. You have to understand that he said he knew that the microphone was on him, but he thought that they were wrapped, meaning nothing will be used from there. And he still tried to say it quietly. So I'm like, why does it even matter? And why are you mad at him for exposing that Jesse called Michelle a whore and did all these things? You're more mad at Danny for telling someone than you are at Jesse for saying it. And Michelle, who he said it about, is supposed to be your friend. So I'm looking at Janet like, you don't make sense. You don't make sense. You just don't. I just can't with her. I can't with Janet. I can't. She irks me. She irks my soul. Now, anyone else catch Jax making a quick comment like Janet and Jason be leaking things to Reddit about the show? This is another reason I agree with Miss Moncrief and several other people. Like, Janet can go. It's not just how she treats the cash. Like, you could tell she's sneaky in the background. I just don't like her. I can't. But we move forward to discuss Jax and Brittany deciding to sleep with Jax's good friend Julian. Now, Brittany says that Jax ruined her confidence, threw her into a bush, pushed her through a coffee table that landed on her knee and turned it black. She said that Jax made her lose her sparkle. And Jax got mad at her for using that sparkle word, talking about, I'm so sick of hearing this. Because I could tell Brittany's probably like, you're making me lose my sparkle before the marriage ended. And I'm Brittany is the woman that will stay with her man for 20 years and cry about how bad he is and never leave. And then when she does leave, she's going to cry about it some more. I'm just tired of Brittany. Miss Moncrief, my sparkle. I was like, what? You sound fucking stupid. Your sparkle's been gone when that doctor botched your face and you let that man put them triple D's into your body, which could have just done a C cup. Your sparkle has been gone, Brittany. The moment you compromise what you want to appease a man, you've lost your sense and your fucking sparkle. And the fact that she doesn't see that is odd. It's odd. She didn't have a problem with the coke when she was sniffing it with him. She didn't have a problem with him drinking every day when she was drinking every day with him. She didn't seem to have a problem. And we have to remember last season how she's getting drunk, missing speech appointments for her autistic son. So I'm like, she likes to throw stuff in his face, but there's also stuff that she's doing. Right. Miss Moncrief said, I mean, her chest is wide. That chest, her titties stress me out. I be thinking they gonna come through the television. I be thinking, I make sure to go in the bedroom when I watch this show. We have a larger TV in the living room. I don't want to see those things big as hell in the 4K. I don't need to see those things. They scare me. She botched her body. It was unfortunate because when they show like clips of Britney, like back in the day as they did through this reunion, just showing how she used to look, the things they went through, I was like, ooh, like, of course, as we all age, weight gain, things like that could come. She looks terrible. Like, you really got to be careful what you do with your body. You just do. Go to the gym, take a weight loss shot, a diet pill, cut carbs, try the Atkins diet, Jenny Craig, whatever you got to do. But to just go snip, it doesn't always help. But she, she says all these things and says that though she probably shouldn't have dated her husband's friend and business partner while they were on a break trying to figure out their relationship, that she had to do basically because she was insecure, and Julia made her feel sexy and attractive and like she mattered. I was hollering because Jack said, yeah, he does that to the other 20 women he has. How do you think he gets bitches? I said, oh, Jax. But it's like, Brittany, you sounded stupid saying that. Like you would pass around. And like, I know that these clear people don't use terms like that, but wherever I'm from, the way I grew up, if you go from your husband to sleeping with his friend, you would pass around. What are you doing? I don't give a fuck if you needed to be confident. Go find confidence on Tinder, Facebook dating, Match.com, Black People Meet. Hey, go for the Mandingo. Do what you got to do, Brittany. You have so many ways in today's time to go get some dick. So she didn't really need to go and do it with someone that knows her husband and is involved in their business. What if they would have worked out their relationship? So it was crazy to me that she was trying to downplay what she did just because she say she got thrown into the rose bush or something. And I'm like, okay, you got thrown into the bush. He did these horrible things to you. You have it on your Ring camera footage. You've showed it to friends, but you didn't go to police. You stayed with him. What are we supposed to do? Now that you've decided to leave him, Brittany, people are supporting you, and that's all they're going to do. But I'm tired of her. You can still be wrong even when you're going through it. Somebody could cheat on you 20 times and you could still go and do something that's wrong. Two wrongs don't make a right. It's baffling that she doesn't understand that. But honestly, it's also just that she knew what she was getting when she got with him. It's unfortunate what she's going through, but the fact that she herself said that they had not had sex barely in the last few years, I said, girl, you stupid. Your marriage been over. That man ain't slept with you in years, and you said he was on the cocaine and drinking constantly, things that make you horny. If he wasn't getting it from you, he was getting it from somewhere. You should have been ended it. I don't understand it. Maybe Britney's like Princess Love and was like, oh, well, maybe he's just not going to stop cheating and I'll give in to and do threesomes with him. Maybe that was happening. But I'm like, I want like women, people in general, but especially women, I want them to stop doing that. Please stop. Ms. Moncrief said, and then Janet will just apologize. Thank you. Where is the dark Danny energy for Jax? The fact that Janet and Jason are so kind to Jax is proof that they ain't shit. It's proof. I think Janet and Jason enjoy what Jax and Brittany are going through. I genuinely do. Because why else are they so involved? And why else would you side with someone who is assaulting the mother of his child in front of his child with special needs to go get drunk and do coke with random bitches all throughout West Hollywood? Like, it's too much. It's too much. It's too much. It's trifling. It don't make no sense. The whole situation is trifling. So then we learn that Jax lost his job at Vanderpump Rules. And when he lost his job at Vanderpump Rules, this is when they say their relationship took a turn for the worse. This tells me the relationship was never a thorough relationship. It was based on materialism and not love. It was based on convenience, because Brittany coming on the show, nobody trusted her. She came on the show and Jax wanted to take care of her and all this stuff. Then she ended up staying. He was like, okay, you have to get your boobs done. Then he started getting mad at her for not, paying bills and being bad with money and all of this extra stuff. Had to beg Lisa to get the girl a job at SUR, which apparently she sucked at for some time. So I'm like, Brittany couldn't even get much right in the beginning. So I'm looking and I'm like, okay, so the whole relationship, he's kind of been the backbone. Then let's not forget, Jax was kicked off of the show for using derogatory slurs against Black people. So he wasn't just fired from Vanderpump Rules, he was canceled. Nobody would mess with him. But for some reason, people would mess with Brittany, even though she, no shade, was a redneck from Kentucky. Wouldn't fully trust it, but they still messed with Brittany, and she was able to make money. Brittany viewed it as doing her part as a wife, like, okay, he took care of me, now I'm gonna take care of us. But Jax, I guess, became jealous, and I guess for them as a couple, this is where their relationship started to go wrong. They love to talk about that. Jax, nobody feels sorry for you. He tried to make us feel like we have to feel bad for him being fired because of that. You shouldn't have been racist, and that's just that. And you know better because you live in California. It's very diverse here. So I don't feel sorry for him. I don't feel sorry for her. You know, I just don't. She was okay to stay with a racist, and now he done did her dirty some more. So I just don't care what happened with these colorless people, and I don't want to hear about them for 3 parts of a reunion. Talk about this. I just don't. I'm tired. Um, but Brittany has full custody of their son. They're still working to get through the divorce, but right now Jax is able to see their son on Wednesdays and every other weekend. And then Brittany was like, if I need to go get my nails done or something and I need him to watch our son, I'll let him. I won't keep him from his dad. But that's exactly what you're doing, is keeping him from his dad. Like, Jax is a dad, but you can't raise a kid on one day a week and every other weekend. Why Wednesdays too? Like, who came up with that day? I just thought that was weird. I did. I'm cracking up. John, Jason, Jax, Jimmer, Himmer, Schmidt showed Britt who he was over and over, but she chose to ignore it. And now she wants us all to feel bad for her. No, white girl, no, not this time. No. I've never liked Brittany though. Like, even on Vanderpump Rules, like, she came off as sweet, but something with her just always seemed off. And to be with someone who's that bad of a person, you yourself have to be in some ways that bad of a person, because birds of a feather flock together. I really do believe that. So, oh Lord, y'all. Last thing we see is Jax discussing going to his mental health rehab, which we know was actually just an Airbnb in Pico Rivera, because ain't nobody gonna make me believe that man went to rehab. It would be an insult to the mental health and behavioral health field. Ain't no way. But I will give Jax kudos because he says he's been sober from everything except for weed. California sober. Not mad at it. I'm a California, y'all. Been here my whole life. I've smoked weed a good chunk of my life. It's just what we do. It's all right. But Jax has been sober for over 100 days. He says he's still angry. And, Brittany, well, he says he's improved a little bit. And Brittany says, yeah, he's improved, but it's still up and down. And I'm like, can you acknowledge the good he's done just for the sake of your child? Like, I get that you're angry. I get that she has a right to be angry, but also be happy at the fact that the father of your child has been sober for over 100 days. I feel like, especially with the drug addiction and substance use issues in America specifically, we should celebrate any person that has done wrong and is trying to improve if they're actually trying to do it. He gets drug tested to see his kids, but Brittany feels like he's passing drug tests, but she feels like he is on steroids. I don't think it's a feeling. I think she knows he's on steroids because Jax is always mysteriously buff. And he's old as hell. He shouldn't look this good still. He just should not. And it would make sense too if the steroids, because she said he was bad in bed. She said sometimes he was maybe a 7 or an 8 out of 10, but most of the time he was bad in bed. He had no stamina. He couldn't last. He didn't know what to do. These are things that are common when you're on steroids. They also can make you angry and things of that nature. And I can understand why he'd be throwing shit going crazy. I don't understand it. Why you think men be drinking protein steaks and weird shit like that and then going to the gym and lifting and hitting shit? I don't know. Maybe it impacts men differently. But the show pretty much, this episode ends, part 1 of the reunion, with Jack saying that, with me basically just having a feeling that this is going to be like draining Brittany and Jax. I hope they get through it quickly. I don't want to talk about them the whole time because Brittany complained about Jax for an entire season. And I'm like, Andy, you better do better at these reunions. Where are the cards that you pull out on the black shows where you're like, fans want to know? Because fans want to know why the fuck Brittany didn't shut up the whole season or why she's not accountable for her part in her relationship. That's what the fans want to know. But instead, they want to make us believe that this man who was sitting in the Airbnb was in a rehab. Like, stop. I can't. But y'all, that is it for this this recap of the Valley. This was the reunion part 1 review, my opinions. Comment if you have a different opinion or take on the show. Also feel free to comment shows that you would like to see us recap. I am still on the fence about adding Life After Lockup back into the rotation. I was doing Love After Lockup, Life After Lockup, Love During Lockup for some time. I'm considering recapping it again. I'm not sure because I see Michael and Justine and they annoy me, but I'm considering recapping that again in place of the Valley. We will be going over Housewives of Beverly Hills once it comes back. I'm also going to be going over Deb's House, the R&B version on WeTV. So we do have things coming. James is healing from surgery, so be sure to subscribe to his channel. Links in the description. I hope you guys liked the video, and we'll be going over Love and Hip Hop Atlanta next.